So now we are at part 2 of the Hot Toys Berserker Predator. Part 1 is done. Part 2 is coming to be, guys. Awesome. Let's take a look now at the accessories of the Hot Toys Berserker Predator. Well, first of all, he came with not a lot of accessories, not really a lot of accessories if you compare it to the Predator 2 or the Alien vs Predator figures from Hot Toys. He has not really a lot of accessories, but he has some quite much accessories. The first of all is he came with 2 alternative hands, one being a closing fist and one of an open hand, which can put on one of his arms. Really nicely sculpted, really nicely done. Also on the fist, they did a terrific job. I mean, a terrific job. Also, he came with 2 open mandibles. I want to show them. So here you got the Berserker Predator with his open mandibles, and he looks, I mean, awesome. What's about the love to this guy? He's fantastic for once. Very nicely painted, very nicely detailed, and a great representation of the Berserker Predator. Well, some people had problems with the face of the Berserker, and they say it was a little bit too small. But for me, he looks, I mean, awesome. Just awesome. He did also came with other accessories. He came with a ripped skull. If you remember in the movie Predators, when he ripped the skull of the I think it was the prisoner. He ripped the skull open of the prisoner. I don't remember his name, but he ripped the skull open of the prisoner, and you know, it was a very awesome scene in my opinion. Very nicely sculpted on the skull. Very nice blood, very nice flesh, nice flesh tone. Also, you get some flesh at the bottom of the skull. Really nicely painted, really nicely done. It is also the same skull from the Predator 1 Hot Toys Predator. But many people say that this is the more nicer skull. Very cool. And as last, he came with 3 sized wrist blade. One being the small one being the medium one, and also one be the very long one. And if you hear this, they're metal, which is very cool. Very cool. I always prefer the long one at the Berserker. Let's put the one at the Berserker right there. But you must be really careful with this blade because the points are rather sharp. So don't really play a lot with this particular blade because you can easily use this as a weapon. And which thing I was forget to adding, also the shoulder cannon is kind of an accessory, and it also has some articulation. It's the same articulation as the NECA ones, but a bit more limited. You can rotate it, and also bend it kind of up and down, and you can also rotate the barrel as well. And also he came with a very cool display base from Predators and their stance Berserker Predator. Really awesome display base. This is also one more of the newer display bases from the Predator Hot Toys versions. The older one have the more of the sideway hooks, but those particular things have more of the lifting up things, which I prefer a little bit more. Because the old ones you also must have the twist on their waist, which kind of hinders some sculpt and some of the netting. But these particular things are really nice as well. Also, the new released Hot Toys Guardian Predator has also that display base as well, but then of course there's Sense Predator 2 instead of Predators. Let's take the turn around of the figure. Just awesome detailed. This is probably one of the best, in my opinion, probably one of the best Hot Toys figures of all. Also, the Falconer has been released. I want to take a later on that. If we take a look at one of the the gauntlets, I'm sorry, very nicely, very movie accurate also, very nicely painted. And also, you can take open this piece, which is very, very, very cool. Very cool. Very nicely detailed on the inside of the gauntlets. Very nice gold paint. Very nice wrist computer also. Pretty interesting. The originals always had the bomb activating, but he has more like a clockwork kind of thing in this. Which is very cool. If we take a look at the back, which I'm also really surprised on this, are the dreadlocks. The dreadlocks, I mean, always, when I saw the pictures of the Berserker Predator, the dreadlocks, the Berserker Predator are probably one of my favorite dreadlocks of all the Predators that have been designed. They're looking, I mean, they're long, they're awesome, and very nicely painted. Great idea. Black with red tips. Really nice. And what really common is in the new Predator movies, there's not really a lot going on the back. If you remember the classic Predator, the Wolf Predator, especially the Predator from Predator 2, especially the Wolf, they have always things on the back. There was a med kit or a cannon or something, but this particular Predators don't have really a lot going on the back. Stick it around on the side. Again, really nicely painted on the gauntlets. Very, very cool. Also one of the shoulder pads, which is very, very, very freely. Yeah, because why it's so loose, you can. The reason why it's so loose because you can move the arm all the way around or something like that. Very cool. Side of the mask, really nicely done. Which I really like about the Hot Toys Berserker Predator is on the side of the mask. I want to see the picture of it right there. Very nicely done. Very nicely done. And also, this particular Berserker is my really first Hot Toys figure. Really first. But all in all, this is a ultimate masterpiece. It is just a home run, this particular figure. I'd probably give it almost 11 out of 10. Almost 11 out of 10. He is awesome. He is awesome. Also, the thing that's really common in the new Predator figures from Hot Toys is that they have a switch lamp in their back. And they have a light feature as well, which is very, very, very neat. All in all, I love this particular Hot Toys figure. 11 out of 10. I really like this particular figure. He is awesome. Probably because he's my first Hot Toys figure. Also, there we go. The Falconer has been released at Big Bad Toy Store. I don't know, maybe I'm gonna pick him up. But I saw reviews on him. The paint application is really, really nice in the Falconer as well. He has the same body model as the Berserker, but he has different things, the Falconer. Different accessories, different gauntlets, different hands. But all in all, the Falconer is also really, really nice. The only big problem I got with the Falconer is the fact that he has no face behind the mask. And that's kind of disappointing in my opinion. But I've said to myself, Martin, it's kind of a NECA figure. At the NECA figures, you can take the mask also off. And the Falconer is also really nice. And the Falconer finally came with a Falcon pet accessory, which is very cool. But all in all, I love this Hot Toys figure. It's probably one of my favorites in my collection. But this was, again, a very long tour review from Martin 446. And I'll see you guys next time with another review.